Hello and welcome to another tutorial on how to make a crocheted purse. The supplies and tools that we will be using to make this, I have a yarn here by Nicole, Studio Samples. There is no name, but it is a black, gray, and white variegated. And I really like their yarns. Our second yarn is by Red Heart, the Super Saver, in the color black. And of course everybody knows that Red Heart is my favorite yarn. We'll also be using a tapestry needle, a size 8mm crochet hook, a pair of scissors, and for the decorative pieces that I have chose to use, I found these at my craft section of Walmart. I live in the United States, so this is where I found mine. They are mother of pearl, and they do have the holes drilled into them so that I can sew them on to my purse. And then here is the accent beads that will go on top of them. During the making of our bag, I would like for you to be prepared so that when we go to the various rows of color, that you will already have what we need. So from our skein of yarn, find the center pull and the one that wraps around the outside. That way you'll have the two ends from your yarn. Go ahead and pull them out and join them together and start to form a ball, or you could wrap it around cardboard, because we will be crocheting our black yarn in with the two strands. So go ahead and do that. You don't have to do the whole skein, just do quite a bit of it, and that way you'll be prepared. The majority of our coloring will be from our Studio Samples. You can do the same thing to that. I bought 4 skeins, so of that you can pull the center out of one, the center out of the other one, and make one ball from that. Here is some examples of what I have done. I have taken the 2 small skeins and made it into one large ball, and for the black I did the same. I didn't use the whole skein of the black. I just used a good portion of it, so kind of judging by the size of my hand, this is about how much you'll need, about the size of a softball. So let's get started. The stitches we'll be using in our purse will be half double crochet, single crochet, and the chain stitch. So here I have a short tail, and I'm going to be placing a slip knot on my hook. And now we're going to chain 19. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'll meet you at 19. At the end of 19 chains, we're going to start off with a half double crochet. So we're going to be starting in the 3rd chain from the hook, So we're going to skip 2 chains. Do not count the one on your hook, count the completed ones, 1, 2. So in this third one we're going to place a half double crochet and use just the top part of the chain. I think I did that stitch a little fast. But anyway, we got 1 half double crochet in our first chain. Now to make a half double crochet, since I did go fast, which I am sorry, yarn over your hook through the top part of that chain, take your yarn and bring it back through, yarn over your hook and go through all 3 loops on the hook. Now we're going to continue with the half double crochets till we get down here to the end where the slip knot is at, and I will meet you there. You should have 17 half double crochets. At the end of our row we should have the half double crochets that look like this. If your work starts to curl just that little bit, go ahead and pull it out. It'll all lay flat. Okay, let's continue on. After the last half double crochet in the last stitch, chain 1, and we're going to place a half double crochet in that same last stitch. Chain 1, and we're going to do another half double crochet in that last stitch, but try to pull your tail over to your right side. I am right-handed, showing you this in right-handed, and you can see how it curves around. Chain 1, and in the same stitch you'll notice that we'll end up with 4 half double crochets in it after we complete this stitch. Half double crochet in that same stitch, and this will make it so it'll curve nicely around. To continue on, you'll notice that you have, it looks like an X. That's the back side of our chain stitch. I would like for you to go under the 2 of them and straight across from the one on the previous row. This is where we're going to be placing our half double crochets down this side, which will be this right here. So to find the next one, you'll see how it kind of crisscrosses. Just follow your half double crochet from the other side and place a half double crochet in that chain stitch. Continue on down till we get to the end of the row, and I'll meet you there. I'm almost at the very last stitch, so you'll see this right here. We're going to be placing multiple half double crochets in there. So let's continue on. We got 1 in here, and chain 1. Now in the same space, do another half double crochet and chain 1. And we're going to do 1 more half double crochet in the same space. Okay, and chain 1. Now you'll notice here we have 1, 2. Those are our first 2 chains from when we made our row, and then we have our half double crochet the first one that we made. We're going to skip these 2 chains, and in the half double crochet on the right hand side we're going to insert our hook and make another half double crochet. And chain 1, and in that same space do another half double crochet. And this is what I have so far. Continue on down and just do the half double crochets. Let's see, we're going to do 1, 2, let me count instead of, okay, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. When you get to number 16, stop, and I'll show you what to do around the corner. After that 16th half double crochet, you'll notice that we have our chain 1 space. Go ahead and place a half double crochet into that chain 1 space. Chain 1, and in the same chain 1 space add another half double crochet. Chain 1, and in our chain 1 space over here we're going to add another half double crochet, and then we're going to add one more, and then we're going to finish our base for this bottom here. Now normally what I do is I will go ahead and place behind, pick up the chain, or the chain, part of the chain, and do a slip stitch into both, and it'll give the look that you have the braid going all the way around. And we're going to do it again into the next one, but this time we're going to pick up the black. So what I'm doing is I'm going through the top chains of the stitch and go ahead and cut this color right here, and I'm going to bring in my black, and I'm going to have a small tail. I'm going to fold it in half and pull it through. And this is what's going to, this row will be of single crochet. So chain 1, and in that same stitch that we just made, we're going to make a single crochet. So go back through it, and make a single crochet. Now to continue on into only the half double crochets, any chain 1 spaces, you skip those chains. So we're going to go into the half double crochet, come in from behind, and go in front, and then cut over. And you'll notice that what we're doing is we're picking up the loops that create the next stitch. And this is what will give us a braid look. So pull up a loop and let's complete our single crochet. And as you can see here, you can still see the V look here as part of that braid. So we're going to continue on. We'll go into the next one, pull up a loop. Okay, can you kind of see that braid right there? As you go around, it'll become more defined. The black starts the sides of our purse. This completes the base, the bottom of it. So we're going to do the back, go around to the front, and then back to the back again, and then draw up a loop and pull through. And now we're on to this one here. Come up from behind, go to the front and to the back, and pull up a loop. Okay, continue this all the way around, and remember, when you see some of these chain one spaces, go ahead and skip those. Just go into the half double crochet ones. It'll all bring it together, but the braid look will still be there. Go all the way around until you get back here to the black where we started our single crochet, and I'll meet you there. We're going to go back to our other color. Alright, I'm here at the end of my row, and I'm encouraging you to count your stitches as you go around. You need to have an even number of stitches. Here I am at number 43, so I need one more, and I'm going to go behind and pick up the stitches that I need to complete so that I can have that even number. So I'm going to pull it in and draw up a loop, and this is where I wish I did not cut the yarn the first time. So we're going back to our variegated color, and we're going to draw it through to complete that stitch. Then to the top, and I know that this is black yarn, and I'm hoping that it shows up well for you. At the top of your single crochet, the very first one, not the chain one stitch, the single crochet, we need to place a slip stitch. So like you're going to do a single crochet, but do not bring the yarn over, just go right on through. And then chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to draw up my loop here, make it a little bit bigger. We need to fix this right back here. So because I made an error in giving you direction, let's see if we can fix this now. This is going to be hidden inside of a liner, so we really won't see it. So we can go ahead and place a square knot, and this will hold these stitches just real tight. Okay, and then we have our black yarn. Well, the long one that goes back to the ball, we don't want to mess with that. But we're going to take one of the other color and the black that I'm using, and we're going to tie a square knot on that one as well. And I'm sorry, I shouldn't have cut my yarn in my instruction. So I'm going to make a double square knot there. And either you can leave these long, it will be hidden under the lining, or you can weave them in. I'm just going to leave them there. So let's go back to our pattern. Do not cut your black. We will alternate each row from my case it's the black variegated to the black. this will begin our pattern, and this will start our repeat. The single crochet in black is not part of our repeat. Like I said, the only stitches we'll be using is the half double crochet, the single crochet, the double crochet, and the chain stitch, as well as the slip stitch. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make another double crochet, but we're going to go back. This first stitch we did here was over our single crochet, so this chain 3 counts as one double crochet. So we're going to go back to the stitch that is not the same color, but go back one stitch and pick up both of the chains from the top half of the stitch and do exactly as if you were doing a double crochet. Pull it through 2 and then pull through 2. If you look at it, it looks almost like an X. You see the chains going this way, and now the double crochet is coming this way. So let's continue on so you can see how this process works. Now you'll notice here where we did pick up a stitch, and you have to be so careful when you do that, because when we skip, you don't want to skip this one and then start our pattern in the next stitch. That's incorrect. We want to this one and then skip one stitch and then in the next stitch. So you can see where our stitch ends right here, and then we have this empty stitch and then our next stitch. So place the single crochet after you skip a stitch in the next stitch. I mean a double crochet, I'm sorry. Okay. Now we're going to go back to that one we skipped, and we're going to go over the double crochet post that we just made as well, but you want to make that upper loop just a little looser and then complete your double crochet. As you can see here, we have another like X. So let's continue on. You can see the stitch. Don't count that one. The next one is our skip stitch, and then the next one is the one we're placing our double crochet in. Okay, now go back to that skip stitch and place a double crochet and go all the way through. Okay, I'm going to do it this time without explaining so you can watch. Skip, and then into the skipped. If this seems frustrating to you, please set it down. Don't let it frustrate you. It's designed to be fun and simple. Okay, can you see here's our first stitch, and then as we continue down, here's our second stitch. So here's our X pattern. Repeat this all the way around until you get here to the chain 3, where that's going to be underneath our X right here, and we're going to do a slip stitch, and then we're going to join our black. But here let's complete this all the way around. Remember, this is the first row of our pattern, and I'll meet you here. Alright, I'm coming up onto the last 2 stitches of my single crochet row. So I'm placing 1 double crochet in, and in the skipped one, the second double crochet. Okay, and now do not cut this yarn here. We're going to find our chain 3, and we know that here's the next stitch, so at the top of that chain 3 we're going to insert our hook, and then we're going to pull up the colors that we used from the single crochet row, which in my case is the black, and we're going to pull it through both. Now tighten up the slip stitch here, and my suggestion is take your yarn and go over it so it kind of rolls it a little bit, and that'll help lock it in place. Okay, and then there we go, tighten that up, and then we're going to chain 2. 1, 2. Now this row is going to be half double crochets, so that's why we're chaining 2. Okay, so getting ready to move on. What we're going to do is we're going to make it so that we show our chains as we did before. So go behind your stitch. Well, here I'm gonna, and we're gonna come out. Oops, I forgot to wrap it around. Okay, so wrap the yarn over your hook, go in through the slip stitch one, and go to the back of the first double crochet and pull up a loop, and then go through all 3. And you'll see how we're going to start showing our braid here. And then we're going to do this again. We're going to go through the first one to the second one, pull up a loop. It's kind of like a back post half double crochet, but we're not going around the post, we're going around the upper part up here on the top of the stitch. So we're just under that chain. So we're going to come in through the back, go around the front to the back again, and pick up. And then through there. Now, double check your count. Make sure you have the same count that you started with when you completed your single crochet row, and make sure you have the even number of stitches. When we get around here to this side and we slip stitch into the first one, you're going to change to your variegated color, or the colors that you use for your X, and this is our second repeat row. So our first row is to make the X, the second one is the half double crochet back post, but only picking it up so you can see the braid here. Repeat these 3 or 4 times, or however long you would, however long you would like to make your bag. I'm going to do it probably 4 times maybe. The top half of the bag I am planning on using black, and we'll talk more about that when we get to that point. So on your half double crochet row, make sure you have the same amount of stitches as you did on your single crochet row, and then slip stitch to the top, and then place your X's for your second after you chain 3. And if you have any more questions about that, go back to where we started right here. And I'll see you after I've completed 3 or 4 rows. here I'm showing my progress. Let me come in closer. I wanted to show you. Here is the bottom and our single crochet row. Our first row of X's or crosses, and here is what the, let me bring it over here. Here's what the half double crochet did to this row. It made the braid look again. Now here's the variegated, making it so you can see the X's. This is the first row of the repeat again. Remember, the very first row that we did here is the same row we're doing here. So the half double crochet row helps bring this into better view. Keep on going. I know you can do this. Here you can see that I have completed the 4 rows of the X's, ending with the half double crochet. When you get to the end of your row, slip stitch into the first half double crochet and pull it through, and then we're going to take our ends and weave them in. And here's the bottom. I love this design. It looks very elegant. Next, we're going to start on our strap. To make our strap, we're going to use the black and the same color, the variegated that we used in the X's, and we're going to join them together. So that'll give us a nice thick yarn for our strap. Start with the tail, probably about 6 inches back, and let's place a slip knot into the top here. And using our 8mm hook, we're going to make a loose chain stitch. So we're just going to go around and come through. Let me come in closer. So continue making the chain stitches and make sure that you keep them loose, and make sure you bring all 4 of the yarns through on the hook. Sometimes I miss some of them. So continue making the chain stitch for about 24 to 36 inches, or whatever length would make the handbag to your waist level. And I'll meet you to sew it on with you. When you get to the end and you notice that you have about 6 inches of yarn left, just go ahead and take the last one and pull it all through, and then snug up, and that'll finish the chain stitch. Let's go ahead and sew it onto our bag now. To find where we're going to be placing our strap, just take your bag, find the center, and lay it flat. And when you fold it down, you can grab one end right here and take our strap, make it so that the braid end is looking at you, and then bring it below the braid of the row of X's. And then come between, not the first one, but the second one, use my hook to pull this through here. And then go over and then back down on the inside. And then we're going to take our needle and weave it in, and this will hold our strap on. When you do the other side, make sure that you follow the braid around and find the center as I just showed you, and then sew it on as well. After you have your straps sewn on, your bag is complete. But I would like to add a little decorative design on mine. I found these at my crafts section in Walmart, and I thought they would make a nice little decoration for my purse. Since they have holes in them, I can sew them on. So our bag is now complete. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope that you enjoy your new purse. Thank you again.